Good evening, and welcome to another fun-filled Saturday edition of Stupid O'Clock. I'm your sometimes host, John Scarborough. And with me tonight, the ever-lovely Dan Hollyfield, the ever-lovely Joe Bachman, and Rich. How's everybody doing tonight?
Getting by. Um, Everything seems to be lovely in my little corner of the world. And if you believe
enjoying
that, you'll
some
buy this watch.
Um,
enjoying some whiskey from a coffee mug.
Best way to do it.
Have not accidentally caused any new Cold Wars to break out.
They were all on
Hey.
purpose.
Shh. Nothing. We're all fine here. How are you?
How are you?
Boring conversation. Look, we're gonna have company.
Oh, yes, we know all the quotes. Ah.
Yeah, it's
And
nothing
if
worse.
anybody is wondering where Joe Dog is, it is LibertyCon weekend, and apparently it's been a trying day.
He went to Summerween down there at Patton Plaza. He was at Dragon Con earlier in the day, and then went over to the Summerween event where he set up the booth for HallowCon, trying doing all sorts of stuff like that.
Okay.
And I was supposed to go help him, but my mom's husband Barry was off Friday, so he decided, I'm going to get the air conditioner looked at. It's an older unit, we haven't actually fired it up yet. We're not using our air conditioner yet. We're still using fans and windows. Hadn't been that hot. So the guy comes out to do the check. Turns out the small problem we had last year is a big problem this year, and it's a good thing he called him because the motor on the compressor went out, the fan motor, and it's been an issue for the last couple of years. Usually they just hose it down with some WD-40 and it works fine, but he went ahead and got it changed out. Now here's the funny part. Turns out Barry's got this old Honda motorcycle and an old motor scooter out in the garage, and the guy he called to work on the air conditioner is a motorcycle enthusiast. So he traded two old motorcycles for the air conditioning repairs. So A, we now have room in our garage, and B, we supposedly have air conditioning. So.
Well, if the air conditioning doesn't work, he still doesn't get to bring the motorcycles back.
Pretty much. Nope, we paid you already. You're stuck with it. Okay. So, hey, Carl's here. Hey, Carl. And Donna's here.
Yes.
And
Awake at last.
Joe Buckman's here.
Where?
Well,
One of them's an imposter. Wait a minute.
no. Just because he comments doesn't mean he can't be in the room.
So, big news in the world today is the Wagner Group went rogue.
Mm-hmm.
And after supposedly getting shot at by Russian military generals, turned around, shot down a couple of helicopters, and started marching on Moscow. They got about halfway there when Moscow cut them a deal. So now apparently the entire Wagner Group is either going to go back to their camps in Ukraine, or them and the officers, I guess, that were in charge of the Wagner Group are going to Belarus. They're going into exile in Belarus.
They're going to keep on making trouble for a long, long time.
And here's the really, after all that shooting, basically, he shot down their own troops. Of course, they shot first, so you claim self-defense.
Friendly fire isn't.
But they raided his company headquarters in St. Petersburg. And they went out back and they found a van and a storage container parked out back in this neighborhood, and nobody knew who the van belonged to. They brought in the bomb squad, checked out the van, opened it up. The thing was stacked full. This big, it's one of these big transit van type thing, right? Big cargo van like you see plumbers and such using. They opened it up. It's full of cardboard boxes. The boxes are stacked full of money, Russian rubles. I think they found $15 million that belonged to the guy that runs the Wagner group. Everybody calls it.
So, what is that in today's money? About
It's-
$5 and change?
No, it was 40 something million or 47 billion rubles, but it comes out to like, I mean, I'll look at it. It's several million though.
Yeah. Well, he ain't got it anymore because I'm sure that's been confiscated.
Well, they'll probably pay him. They'll probably give him his money back because they want their tanks back eventually. You know,
Why?
because they're short a few.
It's not like they're as heavily armored as my lawnmower. I mean, seriously.
Well, to be fair, you know, armored warfare is a give and take. A tank has the four things going for it: the armor, mobility, the gun, the armament on it, and the crew invisibility. And that's the ability for the crew to see what's going on around them and crew the tank. And it's this, you know, it's like scales. You know, you increase one, the other goes down. You increase that one, and the weight goes up. It's just, you know, horrible.
Given the Russian budget, the middle two don't seem to count anymore. They ain't got no fuel. They ain't got no bullets.
Well, that's the other problem is I don't think Russia was actually prepared for a long-term war. Which
well,
sounds
nobody
strange.
ever is, but yeah.
They have plenty of weapons, but they've only got so much ammunition across the board for them. Which I imagine that's a problem with any military is trying to keep stocks of ammunition for going long term. And even the United States, I'm pretty sure, doesn't have the types of munitions numbers that we produced in World War I and World War II.
Oh, hello, Don.
I mean, you look at something like Liberty ships. You know, we produced hundreds of Liberty ships. You know, they were literally coming out, you know, 5 a day, those Liberty ships. And in 1 year, you know, they had close to 1,000 of them popping out there. So, and I'm pretty sure we don't have the technology or the infrastructure to do that again.
Well, I won't say that we don't. I will say that what we're lacking is the desire to do that again.
You look at if I remember correctly, when World War II started, America had 5 aircraft carriers. If I remember correctly, we had 5. 5 years later, by the end of the war, we had close to 50 of various types, and we actually scrapped them in the slipways when the war ended. We had that many of them that they didn't know what the hell to do with them. So they said, "Do you want us to finish this aircraft carrier?" Nope. Turn it into razor blades.
But there's this guy from Louisiana that's got a shrimp company, wants one for a fishing boat. Okay, give it to him.
Yeah, really. Hey, don't laugh. You know, all the other boats they built for the Navy, the landing ships, the landing craft, PT boats, just all these auxiliary vessels, the Liberty ships we talked about earlier, they were selling them for literally pennies on the dollar. You know,
Hey,
spend $1 million. spent $1 million to build the thing, sold it for $1,000, that sort of thing.
Hey, I would take a PT boat for Lake Hartwell any day. You know,
There's only one problem with PT boats. They were made out of laminate wood. That's they were built to be. They were designed to be built light and quickly, and they had great engines. They were, strangely enough, the PT boats, the Elcos and such, are almost built along the same specifications as the British Mosquito attack plane.
Yeah,
the little twin engine medium bomber
mm-hmm.
with plywood and wood.
Yeah.
That was. And they even had the same engines. That's the good ones did.
Believe me, if I had one sitting around, I'd be looking around for somebody that could build me a canal boat just for the lakes in Georgia.
There you go.
And put the PT boat engines in it instead of these little 30 horsepower things that the ones in England come with.
Exactly what you need for a canal, Dan, is a V12 Rolls-Royce Merlin engine in a boat.
Hell, I need that in a van.
It's not a canal boat. That's a racing rocket. I mean, it's
yeah, and it's restricted to 4 miles an hour, which is like we're going to have to turn the idle speed down on this.
If you had a V12 Rolls-Royce Merlin engine in a canal boat, you wouldn't need a propeller. You just have to put the exhaust pipes close to the water.
That they do have a problem. They do have a problem with stuff in the canal wrapping around the prop shaft and the prop.
Yep.
And I'm going, well, take a lesson from airboats in Florida. Put a big fan on the back of it. Nothing will clog it up.
Hey, a water jet. There you
go. Ooh. Well, no, you would still get the intakes clogged up with all the crap.
But you wouldn't have to have a big water jet. So you could actually, if you do it right, the water jets can actually clean the intakes. Have you ever seen those? Everyone always thinks to put the intakes up front and the water jets where the water squirts out in the back. But you can actually do it the opposite way of having them squirt the water out front and then have the intakes right behind it. And the water squirting out actually blows everything off your intakes.
Okay. I'd have to see blueprints, but yeah, that makes a certain kind of sense.
And of course, now they got this one thing, and I don't know if they use it in canal boats. I don't know if you have to use it in a canal boat, but they've got the maneuvering thrusters for ships.
Some of them that it's not cheap. Some of them do. They have little electric motors that do
you can do that
bow thrusters, stern thrusters, and whatever.
You can do that with trolling motors.
Yeah,
because they're designed to do 360. You grab the handle, spin it around, and turn 360. And if you had a couple of them on a boat, like one in the front, one in the back, you could drift your boat sideways to dock.
Oh yeah. I've already looked into this. You have. Okay, for my improvements to the traditional design, you've got port and starboard bow thrusters, port and starboard center line thrusters, port and starboard stern thrusters, plus brakes going out the front and emergency thrusters going out the back alongside the engines. So when you've got to do something that takes nothing but electricity, like going through a tunnel.
Yeah. I got one for you, Dan. At Vicksburg National Battlefield Park, they recovered the remains of the gunboat Cairo, which was a riverine gunboat.
Okay.
It had lots of plate armor around it, but it also had, it's kind of neat, it had railroad tie armor, or railroad rail armor
Yeah, I remember reading about that. There were several ships that used that.
And the shells came in, they would bounce up the rails off the side of the ship, but the troops inside could shoot out in between the railings with their
Mhm.
rifles and that. And it gave ventilation, which back in those days, if you had guns inside of a boat, the gunpowder smoke was just horrible. I mean,
Oh yeah, yeah, because they had no ventilation
well,
fans.
that was one of the nice things about the railroad rail armor was you had all the spaces in between. And yeah. Anyway, um, a unique thing about it is
Thank
you
you, Carl. That's very nice of you. Um,
you always see the river boats where they either have the paddles on the side wheelers,
yeah,
or they have the paddle on the back,
the stern wheeler.
stern
Yeah.
wheelers. Cairo, because it was a gunboat, had a center wheel
Wait a minute, enclosed?
enclosed inside the ship,
Oh, that's such a nice idea.
which, if you're doing
Inside the
canal
armor.
boats, yeah, exactly. Well, the most danger, if they hit the gunpowder, the thing explodes. If they hit the boiler, the thing explodes. So if they shoot up your paddle wheel, you're dead in the water.
Yeah, easy target. Yeah.
So the Cairo, the paddle wheel is in the center of the boat, which was pretty cool. I always thought that's brilliant. It makes perfect sense, but I would have never thought. I never would have thought of it.
Well, you'd have to probably have two of them side by side so that
No,
you could so that you could use the side wheel, side paddle steering method.
it had. I don't think it had two. I think it had one.
It
I had
probably didn't, and they were depending on a rudder.
rudder.
But if you're gonna go that far, might as well have like an enclosed side wheeler.
Let me see if I can find a picture of that thing, because it got sunk by a torpedo, which is not the kind of torpedo we know of.
Yeah,
Um,
and that had something to do with the PT and PT boat, didn't it?
no torpedoes back then were like land or river mines. They were like mines they put out in the river.
Oh, okay.
But they were on cables that were strung across the river, and as the boat came out, they could run it out there and explode it. So instead of having a propeller on a torpedo tube, it was basically a metal can full of explosives and some sort of igniter, and they'd run cable. They'd run that cable out there and park it right in front of the boat as the boat was coming up or down river. Put it right, and when the boat got to it, pull that igniter cable,
Mm-hmm.
which was probably electric, but I don't know. And that's what got it.
There's so much technology that's been developed for the purpose of blowing other people to smithereens.
I'm trying to find. I got plenty of pictures of what the Cairo used to look like and what's left of it now that they're preserved. And I know I've seen a schematic of it before. Let's see here.
Oh,
There's a picture of the wheels, or the wheel. I don't know if it's wheels or not. Let's see here.
Carl, Donna, I have no idea what Top Gear did. I have no idea. I know they're about as bright as a 2-watt light bulb from 75 light years away, but
No, well, sometimes they actually do cool stuff, but
well, yeah, they frequently did cool stuff, but they were never intelligent about it.
Here's the thing. Brits should not be able to out-redneck the rednecks.
Where do you think we got it from?
Yeah, but you guys improved it.
Hey, we've been polishing this particular thing for a long time.
there's some.
Oh, yeah.
That's the rail armor, and it's basically
Uh-huh.
it's a railroad rail turned inside out.
Yeah, yeah.
base
The
of it.
narrow end, the narrow end is nailed or pointed inward. The wide end, which would be facing the ground on a railroad tie on a railroad, is facing outward, so you've got more coverage.
Right. And then let's see here. Get rid of that one. And nope, it only had the one wheel. Apparently, it's a wheel and rudder configuration.
Yeah, Carl. You say asked to leave. My family was not asked to leave. We were deported.
Are you trying to say they helped you put the luggage on the boat?
I'm
No,
trying to say that there was
the luggage they tossed onto the boat.
He's saying that they didn't have time to pack their luggage.
I'm saying that there was either some rich guy's wife involved or some rich guy's horse involved.
Depending on how the wife looked, it might be both.
Considering my ancestors I have known in the flesh, I'm betting there was a woman involved. Oh, Lord. Oh, Donna. Thank you for the information. The hovercraft-like thing.
There was a James Bond movie with Roger Moore. I think
There were several with Roger Moore.
Moonraker. It was on
Moonraker?
Moonraker, and he was in Venice. He was in one of the canal boats in Venice, and another boat came by, and it had a coffin. It was a hearse canal boat, and a coffin at the top of this. And all of a sudden, the casket opened up, and the inside of the casket lid was covered with throwing knives. And the guy who was in the casket jumps up, starts grabbing throwing knives, kills the guy that's running James Bond's canal boat, and then starts throwing knives at James Bond as the canal boats pass each other. Well,
Drama.
James Bond grabs one of the knives, throws it, hits the guy, and a bunch of guys with guns jump out. And he goes over and punches a button on the canal boat, and the canal boat turns into a high-speed watercraft. So he runs away, and he winds up at the Plaza del Vecchio in Venice.
Yeah.
Punches a button, a skirt pops out from underneath the canal boat, and it turns into a hovercraft, and he rides up into the middle of the Plaza del Vecchio.
And then just casually saunters off.
Yeah, exactly. Straightens his tie,
Oh, Lord.
See, Dan, that's what you need to do. Is build one of those canal boats with the hovercraft thing, and then do just drive around London doing the James Bond impersonation.
I'd probably get hit with a cease and desist. Oh, Lord.
You can't get hit with cease and desist for impersonating a secret agent, because basically they can't admit that they have an agent that you're impersonating because he's secret.
Don't wait a minute.
Hey, Don.
Wait.
It's not almost the end of the show. It's almost the beginning.
I know it's almost the end of the show for me.
Oh, Don's here.
Bye.
Oh, Lord.
Fun of me.
30 minutes in, John. Seriously.
That's because I showed up.
And how you doing?
Tired.
Ah.
I
Okay.
had a fun day though. There was an on thingamabopper here in Peoria. DKM and Cookie showed up. So. Hung out with them today.
I had to sit around all day and wait for the air conditioning guy to show up with a trailer to pick up those motorbikes.
So Friday, speaking of air conditioning, I was going to mention this earlier when you were talking about it. I went to a poker tournament last night, a little cigar shop, not too far from me. A bunch of people meet up, and if we have enough players, they just do like a buy-in of cigars. You got to buy at least a $10 cigar to put into the box, and then a second one as a bounty. I get there, and it was hotter than hell in there. And one of the other guys is like, "Hey, can you crank the AC up a little more, and try and get it cool down some." And so girl did, and they're like, "Man, it just doesn't feel like it's cooling off at all." And one of the guys goes, "I don't remember seeing the AC unit when I walked in." Sure enough, they walk outside, the entire AC unit is gone. Someone had stolen it overnight. Clipped the wires and tubing and everything, and took off with it.
That is the fastest way to steal copper tubing out of a industrial air conditioner, if they're not that big.
This
Throw
thing,
it in the back of a truck, drive off, scrap it at your leisure.
Yep, this thing was. It wasn't like one of the big industrials. This was probably about 2 times the size of my home one, 2 to 3 times.
Real easy way to destroy your lungs too with that much freon in the air.
Yeah.
If you're into the air tag thing for tracking your property, putting one in your air conditioner might be a damn good idea.
Right on up next to the compressor, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least on the radiator.
It's called a coil in a AC.
I wouldn't have the slightest idea. You would be much more expert in that area than me.
Sadly, I do know.
Yes, yes. Well, your dad was big in the.
Yeah, there's two
The
coils.
high-vac.
There's one that goes in your furnace, and there's one that's actually inside the AC unit.
There were 2 guys down here in our neck of the woods, like a couple months ago. I may have mentioned this on the show. They broke into a transformer yard
Autobot or Decepticon?
to try and steal copper wire from the transformer yard for the electric company.
And they did not know they were live.
It did not end well for anybody. Okay.
Deep fried to a crackly crunch.
Can't fix stupid.
You can now.
You can.
You can microwave the hell out of it. Let me tell you.
Oh, we
That's
can
something
fix
that's
stupid. We can rip the
obliterating.
warning labels off everything and just let natural selection take its course.
You know they've got
You
this
can fix
movie out
stupid. It's
called-
just not legal.
They've got this movie series.
There we go.
The Purge, where one day a year for 24 hours, all crime is legal. Okay. And you can commit murders, bank robbery, whatever. And I'm like, we need to do something like that, only instead of allowing you to murder people just for that one day a year, none of the safety standards are enforced. Okay. You don't have to wear a motorcycle helmet. You don't have to put your kids in car seats. You can ride in the back of the pickup truck, whatever. You don't have to wear
Come on. You should put your kids in car seats. It's you don't have to wear your seatbelt.
But you should put your kids in car seats. But let's face it, stupid can be genetic. if you're trying to get rid of stupid people, just get
Well,
rid of the car seats.
very often
Without the lineage.
stupidity and beauty. Sometimes you get two really ugly people get married and have a kid, really pretty kid. You get two really stupid people together, and their kid is Einstein, Stephen Hawking.
When I was a kid, we had this TV show on cable called MTV.
I'm
And,
watching MTV Classic right now, and they're playing music.
Anyway,
Nerdy.
MTV used to play music videos, and then for some strange reason, they stopped, and they started showing stupid people. I mean, it became the Stupid People Network. And give you an example, they had this thing. One of their big shows was 16 and Pregnant. Okay, Jersey Shores, and Jackass. I'm blaming MTV for a lot of the stupid stuff we see today. I mean,
I will agree with that.
I don't know. Apparently, the smart people that invented MTV sold it to some idiots. And apparently, those idiots used MTV to sell Monster energy drinks, things of that nature.
John, crank your microphone up just a little
Mine,
bit.
yeah, I noticed I cranked Joe's up a little while ago when he was talking.
Oh. I should probably move
I'm blaming StreamYard.
Okay, that's a thing. Blame StreamYard, get booted.
I didn't.
So, Don, did you see what I held up, or did my network drop out before the camera picked it up?
When? Just now?
When you first joined?
No, I didn't see it.
Pretty.
Ooh.
This is the starter chain that I am going to try to base, because I'm going to try to do the half Persian. This is the starter chain I'm going to try to base Georgette and Buddies off of. I'm doing it in 3 colors so I can remember the pattern
Which is
because
fine.
you wanted 3 colors on Georgette and Buddies.
Yeah, I mean, if that's what works for you, those are just kind of the color combinations that we were leaning towards for them. John was completely confused.
Why is it I can do this with anybody else, but I can't do this with me?
Oh. So yeah, I'm building the half Persian starter chain for the cat collars.
Okay.
So again, this will be like the full Persian piece that I'm starting it off of, but for half Persian for me to do projects on from now on.
Okay. Because
it won't let me edit my own mic settings.
Ha
Really?
It'll let me edit everyone else's, just not mine. Let me see here. Mic. Automatic. Let me turn that off.
Because more than likely, should you be able to do that under
I got to go into the big board and do it. There we go.
Look at the big board on John.
Yeah, if I click on the icons down here, it'll let me edit your audios up and down. I can turn it from automatic to manual and then turn it up a little bit. And it'll let me do that for everybody except me. I've got to go down here to settings.
And go into audio.
And bring up the big board and go to audio and then turn on. Yeah, it's same thing basically. It's just you have to access it in a different direction.
It's
I have to go around the back of the house. I have to go around the back of the house to get in the house. Everyone else, I can walk in the damn front door.
So, Rick, what's the guesstimation, or are you still working on that?
As in price?
Yes.
Don't worry about it.
Uh-oh. Dan?
No, I'm not going to worry about it.
You are making me learn a new weave. that I can utilize.
Rich,
For
you're not
other
talking.
things.
You're not talking towards your microphone, so we can't hear you.
Actually, I
hear
was
it.
talking. I was talking directly at my microphone.
Oh, were you? Okay.
My microphone's right here. You
That's not a
were
microphone, John.
you were forcing me to work on. No matter how often I try to tell Misty it is and to talk into the mic, no. Thank God my wife doesn't watch the show. She would beat the ever-loving hell out of me. She knows
And
when
I'd sit back and eat popcorn and watch.
She knows where I sleep and where the frying pans are.
I'm glad you mentioned.
Did you ever drive a stick shift?
I keep wanting to buy microwave popcorn at the store, and I buy it so seldomly. I keep forgetting. It's just not one of those, and I keep forgetting to put it on the list too.
I have some. You want it?
Yeah, just hand it to Rich. He can hand it up to me.
Okay.
But Don, basically, you're allowing me to prototype a new product, so
Okay.
don't worry about it. You might have that might be a good thing that I can create more chainmail pieces for to, maybe eventually set up an Etsy shop for.
I had a friend who used to do chainmail, but he made jigs that you put in a vise for wrapping the wire, and it had a handle on it, and you'd run the wire in this one hole, turn the handle, and it'd yank it was pretty neat. But he could make the really small chainmail out of the really tough wire.
Yeah,
he made chainmail that'd stop a knife. He didn't make pretty stuff.
There's a ton of weaves that I would like to do that I see that I can't find the links that it suggests that I use to make them on any online stores. So eventually I might have to buckle down and either buy or make a mandrel and buy a saw.
They make these ones, and it's pretty cool. You take big spool wire, you put it on one end of it, you feed it into this thing, and it's got these grips and you pull a handle, the grips go in, grab the wire, feed it, and as it feeds it, the handle you're pulling is also spinning the wire.
There's also mandrels that are based off of a power drill. So you just put your power drill on the end of your dowel, you've got your mandrel in place, and then you get
a spring. Yeah.
You've got your really nice, heavy leather gloves so that your fingers don't get accidentally pinched in, and your wife ends up opening your ketchup bottles, and people end up calling you lefty.
Actually, my ketchup bottles have flip caps, so I can open them one-handed.
Same here. Although my flip top mustard bottles, I have to use two hands for, because I cannot get enough pressure.
Just smack them on the counter; they'll open.
I tried that once. We never found the cap.
I'm probably one of the few people that keeps a pair of pliers in the kitchen, just for opening things like mustard bottles.
My multi-tool is in there so I can pull the staples off the ice bag.
I was trying to find.
I've got a pair of channel locks for that.
Whoop! Where is he? Get in here!
Here at Judo.
That was.
He snuck in on us. He ain't here
That
yet.
was.
I'll be here in a few minutes. I'm getting stuff ready over here.
Okay.
I feel like God talking to us from above.
And Rich, stop playing with yourself. It is God.
I cannot begin to tell you how disturbing an idea it is that Joe Dog McKeel might actually be God.
Hey, I didn't think it was a pleasant thought.
And with the way things have been going since what, like
But
2012,
it would explain. Yeah, it would explain 2019, 2020, 2021, and 2022.
Oh, and then Dan's back.
Yes, sorry
Dan.
about that. Had to go down the hall. No big deal.
God talked to us while you were gone, Dan.
Yes, he did.
What did I say?
Through your voice, we'll put it that way.
Then you got Donna's comment.
Oh, what comment, Dan?
It's like that joke I tell. We have an Alexa in the kitchen, and people say, "Aren't you worried about that thing listening in on everything you say?" I said, "It's in the kitchen, right next to the dining room. Okay, all it ever hears me say is, 'Who did this? Why can't you do this outside? I'm tired of cleaning this up.'" You know? We spent $400. We spent $400 on a storm door with a large doggy door in it.
For the pig.
No, for the dogs. We have English bulldogs. They need a large door.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because their shoulders are almost as wide as mine are. So.
Okay.
That's I never realized it. Everyone else did, but I didn't. I have very wide shoulders.
Well, yeah.
And it's odd. I probably should have. I wish I had gone into swimming because I could have been like Michael Phelps, only without the marijuana. And
It's carrying all those backpacks.
do not laugh. No,
No, I'm not. I mean, that's serious. That's a serious.
I'm just reading
sorry.
down his comment behind. And then Carl's comment after that.
Dutch oven. Yeah.
I didn't think about it when I was in the military, but I had a lot of trouble doing push-ups when I first joined the military. And I don't have huge arms or anything like that. It never occurred to me. The reason I have trouble climbing ropes and doing push-ups is because of how wide my shoulders are. It's hard for me to get the proper leverage. If my arms were a little closer together, I'd get better leverage for pulling myself up a rope or doing push-ups. Or other recreational activities.
Yeah, really.
God, is that you? Rick, that was a wide open door for you on that one.
Yes, it was. Okay. Not the green room. Not the green room.
Yes.
Hey, we're just going to the movie.
You see my background?
Yeah, it's an angry.
He's mad because he's no longer considered a planet.
Oh,
I don't blame him. I was sad when they made him not a planet.
It's a. I can't remember the term. Not exoplanet, but
no,
Dwarf planet.
it's
a what?
I think the dwarf planet.
yeah,
Dwarf planet.
yeah. He thinks he's got to learn how to sing hi ho now.
Oh, excuse me. I'm really surprised that nobody named a bunch of the moons like around Jupiter or Saturn after the seven dwarfs.
They weren't out of Greek and Latin names yet,
And Roman, or
yeah.
Latin. Yeah.
Now, there will come a time when there are other pantheons that will have to be mined for appropriate names.
Udo 128, Siddhartha, and
Good luck when they get to the Celtic.
You're really.
Oh Lord, we're not going to be able to pronounce those. That's
know- I
why
don't know
Arthur
I
C.
don't know
Clarke
which would be
came up
worse.
with
Celtic
Rama.
planets. I don't know which would be worse, Celtic planet or Viking planets.
Viking planets would actually be a lot easier to pronounce.
You know, I just thought of something. You know how everybody kind of knocks on, what's the
Huh. Hmm.
what's the religion that all the Hollywood stars are into?
Scientology.
Yeah.
Scientology was based on a science fiction writer. Okay, writing science fiction.
No,
Yeah.
it was based on a bar bet between two science fiction writers.
Yes.
Yes.
Strangely enough, if you're going to name stars after after religious figures, that's probably the one religion that would make the most sense to name stars after.
Especially since part of the religion deals with aliens.
There you go. That I would love to like find a planet and name it Margaritaville.
Oh, you don't even have to wait on a planet. Just claim yourself an asteroid.
No, it's got to be a planet with an ocean, with a water ocean. Yes, because hey, no offense, if I were a star explorer and I were naming planets, and I found a planet that was mostly ocean, and it was nice and warm with good sunshine, I'm naming that one after Jimmy Buffett. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Because here's what's funny.
It could be nothing.
I could name it Margaritaville and he couldn't sue me for it because it's not on Earth. Laws don't apply. I'd name like this in the starport on the planet for landing there. It'd be called Pop Top.
Stepping on pop tops.
No,
Cabo
I
Wabo.
blew out my flip top, stepped on the Pop Top, cut my heel, had to cruise on back. There's a starship name for you. My heel.
Let's hope it doesn't take a sharp turn. There's a wrestling joke for you from an unexpected source.
You know, if we keep discovering new planets, eventually they'll have to start naming planets after Saturday Night Live characters.
If we keep discovering new planets, they're going to have to name them after the. Well, as Carl Whitman said, Planet Face. Yes.
Planet. have a planet called Gumby, damn it.
Gumby, damn it. That's a good name.
Gumby, damn it.
In Minnesota, they have a snowplow naming contest every year, and there's like 7 divisions they have, and yeah, there's some pretty good ones.
Snowy McSnowface. Yeah,
That I think is one of them. Actually, was one of the first ones.
Yep.
And over in England, wasn't there something called Bodie McBoatface? So
Bodie McBoatface.
That was the original.
That was the original.
They were building a research vessel with taxpayer money. So they were trying to decide what to name it. So they had a contest to name the research vessel. And it was an Arctic research vessel. So it was designed to go up in polar. It was an icebreaker type thing. And somebody named it Bodie McBoatface, and it got all the votes. And they said, we are not naming a research vessel Bodie McBoatface. And everybody goes, wait a minute. You're the ones who said we could have a contest. I named the boat.
Yeah, really?
Well, they wanted to name it. I think they actually wound up changing the name to like Richard Attenborough or something, someone like that. You know?
But it will always be Bodie McBoatface.
Let me look that up. I'm sure.
Good evening, Dan.
Oh, God.
Oh, excuse me. God made me a hiccup now.
No. Someone's not here.
See, we told you.
Oh, wait a minute. Bodie McBoatface is the British lead boat in a fleet of 3 robotic lithium battery-powered autonomous underwater vehicles. Okay, yes. It was launched in 2017 and carried on board the Polar Scientific Research Vessel, RRS, Sir David Attenborough, excuse me. And apparently that was the ship that was going to be named. That was the ship that was going to be named Bodie McBoatface. And they said, no, we're not going to name this ship Bodie McBoatface. So they named it after Sir David Attenborough and named one of the ROVs for it, or AUVs. They named it after Bodie McBoatface.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what am I supposed to? I'm supposed to look up, Rich. Was I supposed to be looking at the screen?
Yep, here it is. Although Bodie McBoatface was the most popular suggestion in the Name Our Ship poll, the suggestion to use the name for the mothership was not allowed, or was not followed. Don't you hate it when the science people can't take a joke?
Well, that's better than the science people not being able to, the joke people not being able to take a science.
Okay,
Lindsay.
so here's the 20. Oh, I'm sorry.
Lindsay once asked me what if I ever moved to England and bought a canal boat, what would I name it? And I looked at her and I go, probably Damn Yankee.
So here's the 2023 snowplow winner.
Oh wait a minute. You need to talk into your microphone.
I don't have a microphone.
Oh well. I'm going to turn you up a little bit more. There we go. All right.
Okay.
Here it's full blast.
Can you hear me now?
Mm-hmm.
Good.
So you're a Blizzard, Harry.
You're a Blizzard, Harry.
Blizzo.
Blizzo.
That was named after Lizzo. Cleopatra. Better Call Salt.
Better Call Salt. That's it.
Han Snolo. You gotta be from Minnesota to completely understand this one.
Han
Later
Snolo.
hot dish.
I'm sorry. What was that last one?
Later hot dish. In Minnesota, we call casseroles hot dish. It's just a thing.
Gotcha.
Wisconsin too.
Okay. Scoop, there it is.
Scoop, there it is. I like that one.
Scoop, there it is. Okay. And then Fleetwood Mac. Fleetwood Mac. Some of the other ones are Betty Whiteout, Duck Duck Orange Truck. In Minnesota, we play Duck Duck Gray Duck instead of Duck Duck.
Hi, Joe. I still like Scoop. There it is. That's Scoop. There it is.
You see what my little undertitle says? Scoot over, lizard. There's room under there for me.
Hiding under a rock again, huh?
Oh, I don't know what possessed me to do 2 convention shows at the same time.
Your aspirations are
I'd answer that, but I'd really like to say on your good side. So.
Suicidal tendencies?
I say that because I did Deadwood last week, and then this week I did the one here in town with Brian, and that's why I'm like goofy, tired.
I was going to go help Joe.
Sure, that's why, Don. That's why.
I was going to go help Joe with his thing at the Summer Wing.
Yeah.
But Barry was off Friday, and called an air conditioning guy to come out and check our air conditioner because we haven't started it up yet. And turns out our compressor motor died. So I had to come out there, change put a new compressor motor in it and everything. And Barry wound up wheeling and dealing with the guy and traded him a motorcycle and a scooter for the air conditioner repair. So I had to hang out here all day and wait on Mr. Fix-It to show up with a trailer to pick up the motorcycles. And of course, I waited here all day. He couldn't show up in the morning while I was awake and waiting. I'd been up all night. Barry finally got home from work, and the guy showed up after them. So that's ridiculous.
That's fine. We made it.
So what happened with the summer wing?
Very productive. Got a lot of interest. One most decorative booth. I themed. I turned our tent into a graveyard. And had all the flickery lights and everything. And they're like, people would walk by and go, wow. Of course, everybody else looked like a side of the road flea market.
Good night, Carl.
Good night, Carl.
Not Carl.
Carl,
But to make things so absolutely wonderful, we had everything figured out. Donna was going to work the table. Chris Walker was going to come up with me. We were going to set up, tear down. Greg's working for Barbara Garrett. Do you know who that is, Dan?
Not offhand, no.
Dealer's Room has all the stones and rocks.
Oh,
and
yes. Okay.
He's working with her, so he was going to walk up with Donna from Trade Center up to the plaza. We get there, everything's rocking and rolling, and Donna has another damn seizure. So we call Megan, my daughter, to come get her, take her home. And then I'm now rearranging, trying to figure how to draft one of the staff that's at LibertyCon to help me set up Summerwing.
Tomorrow?
No, tonight.
Oh.
Oh. And
is
believe it or
Donna
not,
doing okay?
yeah, she's asleep still. But I got both shows packed in the car Friday. You know, John and Dan have seen my setup.
Mm-hmm.
It
is not small.
I had two setups, pretty much identical, plus easy up tent and the graveyard fence to go around the outside of it in the car. And I drive a Chevy HHR. It's a TARDIS.
It is now. I bet the dimensional stabilizers need an oil change after this weekend.
Oh. Well, you survived it.
So far.
And here you are with our bright, shiny faces.
Well, the crackers I'm eating is supper. I've not had anything to eat since 9 o'clock this morning.
I've had a hot dog.
I made
It was a
spaghetti.
good hot dog, but just a hot dog.
Excuse me.
But I'm proud of my son. Dan, you've met my son. He's not,
Yeah, he's a nice boy.
but he's real quiet and everything.
Yeah, he is.
I told him, I said, son, I got to sit down. He showed up there at Submarine. He started grabbing cards and handing them out to people and telling them about the convention.
Went out of his comfort zone, didn't he?
Way
Kudos.
out of his comfort zone.
Kudos to
Hey,
Greg.
Greg. I keep wanting to say George. I know. It's Greg. I knew George was wrong. I just couldn't remember the.
But yeah,
I'm
he
terrible.
went. I mean, it was so far out of his comfort zone. I mean, I'm just sitting back going, yeah. He goes, when are we going to do this again? I said, not anytime soon.
oh well, congratulations, Greg, and stepping up like that. That's really good. That is really good. When you got to do something like that and you knock it out of the park, gives you a good feeling, I hope, because you deserve a good feeling.
When I saw him struggle, I would sort of just wander over and he goes, oh, here's the guy that runs everything.
Chris was there?
Oh,
No, not yet.
God. Yeah.
Joe, you drinking water out of a Listerine bottle or what?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. I just saw the back label and I'm going, that looks like my mouthwash. I'm sorry. It's got to be a salvaged bottle being repurposed.
I switched to these right here and dropped 30 pounds
Oh, really?
from, sodas.
Well, that wouldn't help me much because I don't have more than like 5 sodas in a year. Really, my big temptation when we go to a restaurant is unsweetened iced tea or
Coffee.
Oh,
you have root beer? Dare I? Yeah, it's just most of the time it's just flavored water or root beer, and root beer doesn't win that often.
I wish Lewis was here. I just found this thing on it's on Stacker, and it's the best Cajun restaurant in Chattanooga according to Yelp. And I was just reading. I was going to ask if Lewis had been to any of them.
Is Lewis's back deck on there anywhere?
It probably
It ought to
runs
be.
the best one.
Okay. Let's see.
Excuse me.
Number five is Herman's Soul Food and Catering, which is on Brainerd Road.
Yeah, Herman's.
And then number 4 is Blue Orleans Seafood Restaurant. And
No.
Number 3 is the Walk On Sports Bistro in Chattanooga.
I don't know where that is.
It's on Broad Street somewhere.
Hey, Kiri.
And then number 2 is the Parkway Poorhouse, which is on Riverfront Parkway. Excuse me.
Bless you.
Now, number 1, I've never heard of it either. Little Mama's Chicago-style hoagie on Georgia Avenue, which that's on the south. And
It's in. To be uppity, they changed the name of the Yesterday building to the Tomorrow building.
That's getting uppity, all right.
There used to be a bar there called Yesterday's. And it was popular. It was one of those brass and ferns type of things when it first opened up. Eventually, I think they wound up with billiards and beer.
But it was a staple in Chattanooga.
Yes, it was. It was just one of those places. There used to be a long time ago. Weren't they out at Four Squares? Or no, that's Brass Register.
Yeah.
Okay. Then Brass Register moved out there around the block from them, up there by the courthouse.
Yeah.
And to be their competition, and they were both the Brass and Fern Motors, is what they called them back in the day, like late '80s.
Places that had reindeer goat cheese pizza.
No, not around here. It's more, it was more staple. Just regular. You might get margarita grilled chicken or maple salmon or some weird something like that.
Don't ask, Carrie. Don't ask. I'm not going to hang long, guys, because, again, I am wore out.
Amen.
When I got out, when I sat down in my chair and I was sort of sitting in the background, I took my shoes off, took my socks off, and had to peel my socks off because my sweaty feet had stuck the socks to the bottom of my feet.
You have to get you some foot powder, dude.
No, I won't do
Gold
that.
Bond.
Gold Bond.
Gold Bond ain't made far from the house.
Do what?
Gold Bond ain't made far from the house.
No, it isn't.
Oh, guess who is a minor stockholder in Chatham Drugs?
Elon Musk?
No.
Oh.
You see him on TV advertising it.
I do.
That presupposes I actually have a TV.
Shaq.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shaquille O'Neal.
And he picks up and he gets paid to do the commercials. They don't mail him the check. He comes up to Chattanooga to pick up his check.
Doesn't he live in Atlanta or somewhere in that neck of the woods?
I don't know where he lives. But they people say if you ever walk into Walmart and see Shaq, start loading up.
What?
Start loading up your buggy. Because he'll walk through and stand at the register swiping his card. He said his American Express called him when he hit $80,000 one time at Walmart.
I wonder what I could get out of him. We share a birthday.
$80,000, you probably wind up having to pay taxes on the damn building because you own it now.
Kiri, it's about every 3 months, every quarter.
I'm pretty sure he's also there for the stockholders meeting. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of those that, and when he shows up, he actually walks the line. I mean, there's nothing like,
being a big sports person. And his dad was a U.S. Army drill sergeant. So I imagine between the two of them, they've gone through a lot of Gold Bond powder.
Hell, It's about a half a can on each foot. He
Well,
wears a size 16 shoe.
You know what they say about basketball players with big shoes? They get big shoe contact.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's-
get big paychecks. Yeah.
I cannot believe I was at the Summerween and there was this guy dressed up like Gomez Adams and
Uh-huh.
had Thing up on his shoulder. And I don't know how he did it. Its fingers were moving. And he come by and he's looking at the thing. I said, you know they discovered Thing's real name, haven't you? He goes, they did? I said, yeah. You hadn't heard? He goes, no. What's his name? I said, Luke. It's one of those, it's like, huh? Luke. Oh, that's just wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
Look at Rich. I think I almost broke Rich.
You son of a bitch.
Thank you for the sword, but there was
Does that
there was a
mean that-
hand.
So does that mean that Thing came
Actually,
from Anna?
according to canon, his hand was recovered and was used in cloning experiments.
Oh, they stole that from Doctor Who.
Oh, now, could you imagine Thing with the lightsaber?
No,
Rich, I can't believe.
Dawn, look at the camera, dear.
Oh,
That's the teal.
pretty,
back in the moment.
That's the green.
pretty.
Rich, I can't believe you haven't heard that joke already.
I might have and have just tried to forget it.
I even
Just
got
out
a,
of-
I got a
just out of
chuckle
pain.
I got a chuckle out of Joe Bachman. Dan smiled, so that's something.
Oh, I was well aware of that trope. Yes.
Joyful.
That's the violet. That's the orange.
Ooh. Oh, these are gonna be neat.
Oh Lord, I got Kiri started.
And that's the black.
Ally or
Go for it, Dan.
I wear glasses there for a second. There, Rich.
Yeah.
I'm actually divvying up everything.
See, Rich isn't reading it, so he didn't get to see it.
Oh God, what now?
oop. There you go.
Everywhere I look, I see that severed hand from the Addams family is there, running around pointing at objects. I don't know. Maybe I'm seeing things.
One day I'm going to have a long talk with that boy.
But guys, I hate to rush off, but I am beat.
Well, it's not
Understandable.
Yeah. And I was supposed to have 2 chairs at this evening event. I get there and they go, "Oh, we're not going to do chairs."
Like the hell you are.
I'm not going to do chairs.
Well, we had to bring our own pop-up and our own table. He says, "We'll have chairs set out." Then they
So
go,
you
"Well,
come to find out you had to bring your own chair too.
yeah." Because the people above him says, "Well, if we're not giving them tables or a tent, why should we supply chairs?"
Because it would be polite.
I forgot to tell you this in translation.
Yeah. There were a lot of pissed off people.
I bet.
All right, but yeah, I'm tapping out, guys. I'll holler at y'all. I guess
All right.
Thursday. I don't know,
Rest up, feel
Dan.
better, brother.
All right, Dan. I don't know. Are there shows scheduled out on Thursday or not?
No. Tonight is the last two shows you've already gotten in the queue.
Okay, I'll probably finish out. Let me look.
Now I've got to tell you, I start the 50-hour week Monday morning. Thursday and Saturday, I'm probably going to be really tired, but I'll do my best to be on time and do the shows. So
All right. So
we shall
no,
see.
should I schedule last minute or?
No, go ahead and schedule it.
They just may be short shows.
I can't imagine the last man standing on Thursday night. It's actually going to be short, but anything's possible. No, I've got to go to work at the same time of the day. I've got to get up the same time in the morning. It just is an extra 2 hours of work every day.
Yeah.
So we
All
shall
right.
see. And this will not end until HallowCon, as far as I can tell.
All right. Well, just let me know. I'll probably start scheduling everything up Wednesday, and I'll try to get us. Let me look at the. I'll probably try to get us through July 8th, 9th,
Mm-hmm.
which would be Saturday week.
Yeah.
All right. I'll holler at y'all later. I'm done.
Nice.
Have a night, Joe
All
Dog.
right. Good night, y'all.
Dog.
And with how much I'm yawning now, I think I'm going to tap out also. Because I've been up since 4 and dealing with hot asphalt all day and 90-degree heat has kind of zapped me. So
Wait a minute. Wait.
As it
We
does.
got to go through the other snow plows real quick.
okay.
What other snowplow? Yes. Wait. Hang on a second. Go.
No, do not make me do. I want to see your reactions to these. So bring
Okay.
that and unbigonate me.
Okay. Sorry.
Unbigging me.
Oh, wait. What's that?
Unbigonate me.
Hang on a second. Let me do this. No. Oh, it's still not. Darn it. I know what I want to do. It won't let me do it.
Fine. One winner.
Okay. Oh, darn it. It's sorry. It's been difficult. There we go. Oh, that's what I wanted. But with
Go,
you do it.
go
Dan.
back to that, and you should be able to drag Dawn over to that spot.
I feel so loved.
There we go. Okay. There you go, Dawn. Go.
Okay, so 2021 winners, Plowy McPlowface. It's gonna plow right past you. That was the accent. Oh, it's gonna plow right past you. Duck, orange truck. Let's hear. Plow Bunyan. Snowy-Wan Kenobi.
Snowy-Wan Kenobi.
F. Salt Fitzgerald.
F. Salts Fitzgerald. Okay.
Darth Blader.
Darth Blader.
The truck formerly known as Plow.
The truck. No.
Gotta remember, this is Minnesota, so they're playing on a lot of Minnesota stuff, including Prince. The 2022 winners.
The truck formerly known as Plow could actually be the name of 90% of the trucks we had at Gary West.
Surprised they didn't go with Plow Nelson Rogers.
They could be in the future. Both 2022 winners, Betty Whiteout, Control Salt the Leaf. What in the heck is this?
I'm still playing with buttons. Keep going.
Okay, you go play with buttons. The
there we
Big Lebowski,
big Leplowski. I kind of like that.
Pliosaurus Rex.
Man, that patch of ice really tied the road together, man.
Poop Dog.
Scoop Dog.
Edward Blizzard Hands.
Edward Blizzard.
Blizzard of Oz.
Yeah.
And I saved this one for last. No more Mr. Ice Guy. Just for you,
Ellis,
Dan.
Ellis is going to sue.
Think Ozzy's going to sue? That's
No, Ozzy's not going to notice.
Honestly, if he did,
he's too busy making burritos.
he would probably think it's funny, I would think. But yeah, so they've only done it for 3 years. But I'm looking at some of the names that were voted on this last year, and oh my god, some of them.
Just
No,
some.
and Alice has got a really good sense of humor too. So,
Mhm.
Well, on that note, good night,
Thank you
folks.
for hearing me
Are you
out, Joe.
bowing
I
out?
was
Good
not
night,
going to be able to
Joe.
smile.
Thanks.
Good night.
All the Joes are leaving. What's up with this?
Clark Griswold. Here, surprise a lot.
yes, he do.
You know, Atlanta has a hockey team.
I'm sorry.
Hey, they only get to play every 10 years.
But that's my point. Is do you know what we call ice hockey in Georgia?
285.
No, swimming.
Swimming. Okay.
Bob
Oh,
Dylan. Oh wait, here's Paisley Plow.
Oh, yeah, Minnesota Prince fans.
Yeah.
Paisley Park was Prince's studio. It was also a song and an album. So that's. I think
Who
it
was
an
the
album.
first one? Wait. Alice Cooper. They voted on Alice Cooper this year.
Now he's from Minnesota too, right?
No, I don't think so.
actually, I don't remember.
No,
And
I'm sorry. I think he's Wisconsin, but I might be wrong.
I would say I don't think he's Minnesota because that's the one that I would definitely claim to be like, oh, the Minnesota guy.
No, I think. Okay, this is just a wild ass guess, but I was thinking that Alice was from Detroit.
I'm looking it up right now.
That sounds more right. More right if that's the word.
Originating in Phoenix, Arizona.
Oh.
Yes, I did not know that. I
Move
learned
to
something every day.
Babylonia, King Tut.
Yes. See. See, early life, career, 90s, 90, 2000, 2010, Bucharest, Romania. No, let's see. Apparently, he is living in Detroit now.
Oh, yep, that makes sense.
Strangely enough, he's buddies with Ace Frehley from Kiss.
Well, I mean, they work in the same industry.
Let's see. So apparently, I did not know this. Apparently, at one time, he was dating Raquel Welch.
I wouldn't advertise that around because He's been steadily married to a very lovely lady for a long time now. So
Uh, see, when he was signed with Frank Zappa's straight label, let me see, Miss Christine, the GTOs became Kruger's girlfriend. Miss Christine, real name was Christine Frick. You see. Oh no, she died. Never mind. That's not the one. Cindy Lang was a longtime girlfriend. Wait a minute. Is he married?
yes,
Yeah.
very,
No, that's. Let me see here.
with at least two kids that I know of.
3. His wife's name is Cheryl Goddard. Let's see here. Apparently, he's a fan of both the Detroit Red Wings and the Arizona Coyotes. So, yes, apparently he's living in Detroit now.
Well, he mentions Detroit in several songs. So
Right. He's also apparently he's very much into golf.
yes,
I did know that because I actually just really got to play golf with him.
Oh, cool. Here's what's funny. He was also through golf. He enjoyed an unlikely friendship with country guitarist and singer Glenn Campbell after they
Yes,
became
indeed.
neighbors.
Yes, indeed. Yes.
He's so unlike his persona.
Yeah.
Vincent is Vincent and Alice is Alice, kind of.
Well, my granddaddy liked him. Saw him on the golf circuit, and I brought home a copy of Welcome to My Nightmare and a copy of Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon. And Granddaddy let me play them both on the stereo. And we were sitting there listening to Welcome to My Nightmare, and Granddaddy just looked at me and goes, "He's not like people say, you know. His daddy's a preacher. He
He's
learns
actually
to play
born.
golf."
He's actually a born again
So was
Christian.
Sam Kinison.
Yeah, true. Well, Sam Kinison was a preacher at one time. He
I
even
know
told
people that he's from here. I know people that went to school with him and know him. But yeah, he was very quiet.
that changed.
Yeah. Well, that's where he got his thing from, was from the preachers and stuff like that. That's why he
Right.
turned streaming, because they got attention.
Have you ever seen? There's a comedy special that Sam was on. That he actually talked about how he was an evangelical preacher, and he says, and he actually, as part of his routine, he did the evangelical preacher, yeah, and marching back and forth across a stage, just fire and brimstone.
Yep.
And you could hear, you could just, he only did it for like 5 seconds, and you could just like picture the whole sermon right there. It's pretty cool. Let's see here.
One of those that sucks that his life ended up the way it did. How he passed away, it was completely not his fault of any sort.
Nope. Two kids in a pickup truck were drunk, crossed the center line, and hit Mr. Corvette head on. And him and his new wife were in the car together. She survived. He didn't. But apparently he took so much trauma to the chest. He actually got out of the car and was walking around and then collapsed.
Mm-hmm. Ted he was in San Diego when that happened. He was still in the Navy.
He was heading to a show in Laughlin, Nevada.
Yeah, he was, because Ted was like, I got the call. Somebody goes, "Hey man, I'm heard on the news that one of your hometown guy got killed. And Ted's like, what? As I say, he was in San Diego, and that's when he found out. And he goes, that was kind of a weird shock because, okay, yeah, you have Pryor and Kinnison coming from Peoria. Rich, are you sleeping or are you?
He's working.
Are you
He had a
mailing?
He had a heart attack. We're going to do CPR later. Yes. Somebody
Gonna
get
need
the
a
ice
hammer
cube.
for this one.
Somebody get the ice cubes.
I didn't overdose.
You sure? Let's make certain. Okay.
Bend over.
If he overdosed, it was on sauerkraut and sausage.
Oh, the places my mind goes when we make jokes like that. Okay.
When do we not make jokes like that? I mean, seriously. Well behaved we are not.
Dildo-shaped ice trays.
Okay. My next door neighbor wants a link. I'll send you her email.
I'm just laughing because for Christmas one year, my parents had Darth Vader shaped ice cream tray.
Oh, that just puts so much new meaning to the term "the dark side."
The farce is strong with this one.
When I was working at the magic shop, one of the biggest sellers we had for bachelor and bachelorette parties were the little molds for you to make chocolates shaped like boobs or penises. Or at least the people buying them claimed they were for bachelor parties and bachelorette parties. I don't kink shame.
Yep.
But those could be used for ice cube trays as well.
Oh my God.
Is Stephanie up here at LibertyCon? Or
I think so.
I saw she posted something to it, but her post has been rather quiet. So
the post that I saw was somebody who came in dressed as her Division 1 character, and it was her first cosplayer for her work. So she was really chuffed about that. I'm assuming
she is here. Well, I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure if she was at this convention because it's just that time of year where everybody stacks their conventions on top of one another. She here.
Hey, if I were there, you wouldn't be seeing me now because I wouldn't have a computer. The laptop will not be able to do this.
She does appear to be at that. Does look like
Wi-Fi.
She is at Liberty. I may have to drive down there and look her up.
Now?
Why not? Everybody's partying.
Yeah, really. I'd be there, but it's 3 hours away. But
no, I've got to start moving some of the plants in my backyard and putting them in the ground and such.
Would the police complain again?
Yes, and I have an abundance of catnip. She has an abundance of cat, so it's
Hey. My friend John,
do you deliver all across the nation?
Oh, I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Do you deliver across the nation?
I do not, but
Damn.
Yeah, I know. It's
Georgette and Buddy are sad.
oh, cat's not hard to grow.
Georgette and Buddy will have to cope.
They're going to be very excited though here in a while. Well, not
See, one of the
when
interesting
Richie's working his magic.
things about catnip is it's not actually that's not the even though the seeds will say catnip, that's not the proper name from what I understand. It can be called catmint or butterfly bush as well as catnip. And we grew it around here as like butterfly, bee, and hummingbird food because it gets the little flowers going in the
Oh, Donna,
Everybody
you're
loves
such a spoilers for it.
catnip on. Ooh. Hey, Dan, have you been to their house before? Because I was going to say, we do a drive-by catnip.
Excuse me. When have you known me to make a 16-hour drive north?
I've been at their house.
Okay,
Yeah,
Don,
but you live in that direction. It would be a
we'll just
major
drive by
undertaking.
and like put the catnip in the front yard. It's like,
Oh yeah.
Can you imagine the strays? Oh my God, they would that could go one way or the other.
No, I think it could go only one way.
Not necessarily. It could go one way or the other.
It would be a highly funny way, but no, I don't think it could go another way.
it's my only problem with going to LibertyCon is finding a damn place to park that you don't have to pay $40 for. Jackass.
Good luck.
No kidding. You know what? I think from now on out, I'm just going to start charging the city $40 to park their trucks out in front of my house to fix stuff. You know, like if they want to work on the electrical lines, put a sign
Once
out
again,
saying
good
event
luck.
parking, event parking $40. We're here to fix the water main. $40.
Really,
Yeah.
just take it off your bill.
Catnip does not make cats hyper. Usually, it's usually the opposite.
Usually makes mine really mellow.
Exactly.
I have known a couple that it makes them
Stones them
really.
out of their gourd. The last cat I had, I brought him home, and we were out doing some gardening, and he was out. You know, new home, so he's out inspecting everything. Right. We had catnip planted down the fence line, about 20 feet of it, and he eventually makes his way over there, and it's kind of funny. He's a black cat. He disappeared into the catnip. And every so often, you'd see his head, you know, you'd see the bushes move. His head would poke up, and his eyes were like this big around.
They're still there, man. They're looking at me, man.
You could see the look on his face, like, you know, is this stuff legal? You know, it's
Who cares? There's an infinite supply.
Do you realize the street value of this field? I froze the left side of my brain.
Have you ever seen Pineapple Express?
No.
The movie Pineapple Express. If you ever get a chance, it's goofy, but it's a funny goofy. So I highly recommend it because it's.
I have a DVD called Pineapple Express right now.
I am always afraid of Seth Rogen movies. I'm either going to really enjoy it or really hate it. There's like no middle ground. I'm never like, meh.
It's pretty. It's got a decent cast. The storyline's funny, and it's.
I do find Franco a very entertaining actor.
And he's a great meme subject. So
I am melting.
First time. It's-
No, this fan is just not doing enough tonight.
it got warm today. Last 2 days have been really cold, and then today just
Well, I mean, I know Lindsay had the air conditioner on. It's like 75 in the rest of the house. It's 73 outside, and because my door is closed, it is 92 in this room.
well, open a door, get some wind going.
Yeah, but I wake somebody up.
Their fault for sleeping. I'm teasing. I'm teasing.
It was 90 degrees today.
Lindsay,
and
please don't kill me.
Mm,
after the expo, everybody's like, let's go to, yes, there's a restaurant here called Tootie's. And because it's called Tootie's, a bunch of people wanted to go to it. Because they were like, we want to go to Tootie's. And I was like, okay, I'll go. I know the restaurant and stuff is really small. It's right along the Illinois River. So the patio was where everybody wants to sit. It's 90 degrees out. And I was the last one there for the group. And they're all sitting outside.
We got up to 87 today.
We were in the 90s. And I was like, ew, and it's been so dry. It's just gross out because it's dry.
It's funny. We had rain for like 3 days solid, really good rain. So it was hot.
We're
and
droughted.
so I may have to tomorrow. We might get thunderstorms in the afternoon, so I may have to mow the grass tomorrow. So early.
You know when it gets so dry that your lawns turn into shredded wheat? That's what is going on up here. So it's like when you're outside, it just feels dry. Like not even like a dry heat. It just feels. Yeah, exactly.
It said there's a big Texas. Yeah, apparently Texas melted, so it's like flowed off into the Gulf of Mexico because it was so hot. Just the whole state melted, and it's
like butter.
all my Texas fans are like, God, it's hot.
So I went ahead and I closed the bedroom door and opened the office door. Whatever the temperature is in the rest of the house, I'm going to try and get the share. I'm really tempted to turn the attic fan on just to get all the hot air out of the above the ceiling level.
Might be a good idea. Yeah.
Well, Lindsay might
As a
complain
child of
about
an
me.
HVAC guy, yes, you do.
The humidity bucket. I'm burning up. I'll be right back.
And the rain all missed us again tonight. All went north.
All right. Trying to find some more news stories on the Russian mercenary revolution. Or whatever. And everything's from yesterday afternoon. So it's, I wish I could remember. I wish I could pronounce this guy's name. Yevgeny Prigozhin. I'm pretty sure I
Gesundheit.
the hell out of that. He's the guy that runs the he's the guy that runs Wagner. And apparently they're kicking him out of Russia. So and they're sending him to Belarus. So that's all I know. So I imagine about the time he gets to Belarus, he'll fall out of a window or die from nerve gas poisoning, one or the other.
They're kicking him out of Russia and moving him to other Russia.
To the other Russia. Well, apparently he can't go to any other countries outside of Russia and Belarus. because there is a warrant out for his arrest for war crimes.
There is.
Same problem with Putin. He cannot leave Russia or Belarus without going to another communist country. So,
Another friendly communist country.
yes. Okay. Let's see. Trying to find something to talk about because we only got like 12 minutes left in the show.
Neolithic tessellation is a recurring motif in French medieval stonemasonry.
We kind of swallow.
Let's see here. What was I just looking at here? Oh, that was not what I wanted to look at. Turn it. A U.S. aircraft carrier arrived in Vietnam this weekend. See, the Ronald Reagan did a port call in Da Nang. Apparently, Vietnam wants to try and normalize relationships with the United States.
There's nothing normal about the United States right now. I'm trying to find something to talk about. I came across a sign on a bathroom that made me think of Rich.
Uh-oh.
It says restroom is for eating customers only. Was that a Waffle House? Or an IHOP?
Evidently, it's a Cannibal Island conquest.
Two cannibals are sitting next to each other. One leans over to the other one. Does this clown taste funny to you?
Dear.
That's for you, Carrie, if you're still watching.
Okay. Families of Wagner mercenaries killed fighting for Putin are given $60,000 compensation. When their family member dies, they get $60,000. And apparently the number of payouts, because they've lost so many people, is affecting the Russian economy.
How so? People actually have money again?
Apparently they've spent out over $1 billion in cash to the it's 5 million rubles, about $60,000, when a relative is killed.
Basically, the money's no longer in just the oligarchs' hands.
Guess who was at the Civic Center here locally tonight? The Doobie Brothers.
Ooh.
And I've got friends posting all sorts of stuff on my Facebook page, on Facebook. I'm like, did you know if you turned around and looked like 3 rows up, you'd see another friend of mine?
Hey, and that band is legal in Illinois now.
No comment.
Okay, that dropped the temperature dramatically.
What'd you do? Turn on the fan?
Turn on the fan, open the front door, the back door, and the window in my office. Dropped 3 degrees in about 2 minutes.
It's 81 in my bedroom right now, but I've got all these lights on for doing the green screen.
Oh.
Comfortable. It's a lot cooler now than it was when I ate dinner tonight. Outside on a patio.
Oh dear. I'm going to have to replace the batteries in my thermometer hygrometer thing unit. It's starting to fade in, fade out. So it's time to put another battery in it.
Are you sure it's not you fading in and out?
No. This is purely the liquid crystal going.
Blink, blink, blink.
Yep. It's not blinking. It's just kind of going. Maybe it's time. Oh, geez, that feels so much better. We'll probably have to run the dehumidifier for 6 hours tomorrow, but I don't care. It's going to be horrible at work next week.
If it rains or freezes, as long as you got your plastic Jesus glued to the dashboard of your car.
Plastic Jesus, you got to go. Your magnet's messing up my radio, and I can't hear Oral Roberts on the radio.
Oh.
I'm honestly surprised you did not pop me out of the show to bring me back into the show to play that.
Oh, you can leave now. We done played the thing.
How rude.
Well, it's getting close to the end of our broadcast day. So I'd like to thank everybody that popped in and popped out. Joe Bachman and Joe Dog McKeel. And
Kiri for visiting.
I'd like to thank Kiri showed up and poked his
Carl
nose.
and Donna for still being here.
Carl and Donna for still being here.
Well,
Is Carl still here? I was going to say.
No, Carl went to bed about an hour ago. So,
for those of you,
Kiri's still here. Kiri's still here.
There's Kiri's still here. Yeah. For those of you who don't know, Dan Hollyfield has a show immediately following this one called Last Man Standing.
Probably
Dan,
ought to change the name to First Man Sleeping.
They did that too. I don't know how to link your show here. It'd be nice if I could throw it up on the screen or something. That's. But I guess they got to go to your sites or something. Because I can't find it through Stupid O'Clock that I know of.
Well, you've got you've got Messenger. You've got that's the StreamYard link, isn't it?
Exactly. Yes.
Bugger. I don't know. I haven't the faintest idea whether or not it's been a link been put up to YouTube yet or not. It should have, but it rarely shows me that link. Other people can see it if they're subscribed to the channel.
When the show starts, just go up to the top, cut and paste the link, and put it in Stupid O'Clock each night, right when you get started, like right after you get the show started.
Once my Facebook goes to Stupid O'Clock, it takes me half an hour to figure out how to get back out of it again because it hijacks everything.
All right.
I seriously, when somebody posts something in Stupid O'Clock and I'm on Facebook on my iPad, I go, well, I wish I knew what that was, but if I click on it, it's going to take me forever to figure out how to get back to just Facebook. And that's just because it's a group or it's not a page, it's a group. And it just kind of hijacks everything on the iPad. I wish it didn't used to, but several updates ago, it began to. So,
all right. So anyway, go ahead, Dawn.
No, I was saying, what's the date today?
Well, it'll be the 26th at 1 a.m.
Okay, so we have got like 20 seconds left before Dan has to go to his show, and I have to end this one. So I am going to tell everybody, say goodnight, everybody. Dawn, thanks for showing up. And
I was early.
It's always nice to have somebody show up and remind me when to, almost end the show. And Rich, thanks for hanging out, even though you've been staring at chainmail for the last 2 hours.
I've been conversing.
And
Yeah.
Dan, of course, Dan has to go do his show.
I almost had to suppress a groan for the name of thing.
All right. Say goodnight, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
I have slept the surly bonds of earth and danced the skies on laughter-silvered wings. Sunward I've climbed and joined the tumbling mirth of sun-split clouds and done 100 things you have not dreamed of. Wheeled and soared and swung high in the sunlit silence. Hovering there, I've chased the shouting wind along and flung my eager craft through footless halls of air. Up, up the long, delirious, burning blue, I've topped the windswept heights with easy grace, when never lark nor even eagle flew. And while with silent, lifting mind, I've trod the high, untrespassed sanctity of space, put out my hand, and touched the face of God.
Did not get away with it. Fuck, 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 fuck.